What's up? Hotashi here. I've been like neck deep in 2XKO the last 2 weeks, y'all already know. Sorry, things have been slow on YouTube. I'm also in the middle of a move and a lot of other assorted business. So, well, as an aside, I saw this Reddit like in the last week. They blame the beast. It seems to be just people bitching about their problems in Guilty Gear Strive. But in everything, there's a time to learn. There's a way to extrapolate useful information and experience and a lesson from everything. So why don't we go, thread by thread here and see what this is all about. Starting with this one, who says, "Why is so much advice about Guilty Gear so bad?" You know, they think that people are oftentimes trying to be very helpful, but so much advice is, regarding improving at the game feels very unspecific. Like, oh, they're in the air, just 6p, or relying on the subject knowing everything, or failing to consider that the average person does not know frame by frame hitboxes of every character off the top of that person's head. Downplaying doesn't help either, telling me Slayer isn't very mobile, yeah, yada yada yada, and Ram has bad round start, which is not true, I don't think. Uh, it doesn't really help. Like, okay, if you think they're bad characters, then why should the subject struggle against them so much? They wish that people were more considerate of what they're saying before they hit that person with stock counterplay response number 170. Okay, so this is kind of like a life thing. One thing that I appreciate about coming from many walks of life when it comes to hobbies and just where I've been as a person, as a professional, salaryman, streamer, gamer, everything, right? Just and how I associate with different people, you kind of gain a knack for breaking down information in a way that different people at different knowledge levels and experience can recognize, can consume. And it is a skill. It's a skill. What I do appreciate about how information gets passed around in the fighting game community is that most people want to be helpful. Most information is good. Some of it is just chaff, like, downplay. I wouldn't say that Slayer not being very mobile is downplay, or Ram having this flaw or this flaw is downplay. It's all just information. Now, with additional context, you can turn it into downplay or discourse. It's important to be able to filter certain things from, like what is good info or what is just discourse or chaff, right? And it can be hard to filter. Like, this person obviously must have a very good filter because they hear the same thing over and over and over again, and they just question, like, this is like not specific, why, like, there's no context for their experience level. And that's also something important that I want to flip around and put on people who are asking for help, is that it's important to give context for what level of player you are or how good you are. Like, you don't see anybody, well, I'm sure it must happen, but people who go on like HLTV forums and talk about, like, oh man, I can't flick in Counter-Strike, I always lose peaks. Like, well, okay, what level of player are you? like the equivalent of silver or gold, or are you like master or grandmaster in Valorant or whatever shooting game like Apex? You know, it's important to like, do you have a proper mouse? Are you using the right mouse pad? Are you using the right sensitive? Like, you have to give people more information about what you struggle with. And the easiest way to resolve that is to just upload a clip of your match footage or your experience, or explain your experience like in more depth, so people don't give you a bunch of bullshit that may or may not be relevant to you. Like, for example, when I'm playing Street Fighter and I'm like, dude, Marisa versus Akuma is fucking bullshit. And then, like, fucking Timmy on his fucking, on his little laptop is like, oh man, just him, he's got fucking 200 health. Where's that, dude, there was this meme that Shuckle on Twitter made. It was the fucking, the Akuma, the Jack with, like, oh, if you would please consult the graph. Like, okay, I fucking get it. Akuma has low health, no shit. I'm like, I understand. So, more information about what you're going through, the better, means people can give you more focused advice. People like me, Like, when I commentate fighting game tournaments, I can see everything. Like, oh, you don't have a combo here, you don't have a setup here, you're struggling with this, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, that's what I would recommend. Just please give us more information. Like, for example, if you ever come to my Twitch channel and hit ! feedback, I give people help for free on improving in fighting games, not just Strive, and is mandatory to upload footage and explain your experience level, whether you're floor 8, floor 9, floor 10, tournament player, or high level player. Think like Lolo, the Gold Lewis player, or somebody like highly experienced, like top 16 at EVO, things like that. Okay, so please give us more. Let's see here. Okay, here's a good one. I hate Slayer. I do not care if he is quote-unquote fair at a high level. I am not at a high level. Whoa. Off yourself if you play Milia, Ram, Asuka, Happy Chaos, Elphelt, or Bridget. Is this just, this is like, oh, you hate women? Nah, Happy Chaos and Asuka are there. Whatever. Hey, some random nerd 1142. Overcoming challenges is how you build character. I guess, some people do just want to whine. But I'm here for people who can actually, break down why they struggle or why they're upset. You guys were right about Elphelt's Rekka. I thought you were exaggerating. That shit is, in fact, endlessly loopable. What is the counterplay if I can't burst out of it? Well, there were certain Elphelt players, even at a high level, who would literally just hit you with the Rekka and then reset into higher low. And there's a couple different answers to that, depending on the character you play. Things that are more helpful are having a Dragon Punch move, think Volcanic Viper or Stun Dipper, or having a 4-frame normal, like Elphelt Valentine in a mirror or Giovanna. Not every character has this. If you're Nago, you don't have this. If you're Golewis, you don't have this. And then it gets a little bit more challenging. That's why context is important. But if you're getting hit by it and they're resetting into it, and then you have to block the first Rekka and then block high or low again, Uh, choices are using thoughtless defense to make the confirm or the situation a little worse. IBFD is more helpful. Using deflect shield gets you out of that situation nearly instantly, depending on the space where she is. I mean, once you see people use a couple different answers, you'll understand that it's not as bad as it seems. I made a video about this move in specific, Elphelt's Rekka, because it's a really big scrub buster. Same as Slayer. Elphelt Valentine was also a character that had a lot of people fucking complaining. So I was there on day one like, oh, here's how you deal with this. Yeah, I guess I should just like... I mean, I'm not doing it to eat my own ass, but... Here, I'll fucking... I'll post the, Elphelt Rekka on YouTube. Ah, here we go. How to beat Elphelt's Rekka. Oh, 6B. Look at that. That's a step in the right direction. If she starts it from a button, okay? Depending on what button, your mileage may vary, but give it a shot. Training mode is important, okay? So, yeah. How to beat Elphelt's Rekka. If you would please consult the graph. I'll say... I like turtles. Perfect. Next. Oh, this is a good one. This person, they want to play keyboard in Guilty Gear Strive, but they're finding out that there's a lockout on pressing certain buttons at the same time. I think it's up to 3. This was a bugbear for me as well when I first started playing, and not every keyboard worked right. My recommendation is either to buy a keyboard that works with that, or just you know, get a hitbox. It's like almost the same thing. Mixbox as well. Hitbox, like the brand itself, was maybe a little hard to get 4 or 5 years ago, but now that there's so many manufacturers of this product, it's much more accessible. Because these keyboards, I mean, it's a little weird that that would happen, because you know, think like, again, they're playing first-person shooters. Like, how are you supposed to like strafe back and forth, crouch, you know, change weapons? Like, eventually you get locked out if the keyboard is a piece of shit, right? So I kind of emphasize, I'm sorry that that happened. Let's see here. Oh, Slayer. Okay. This is still a thing even after I tried to help everybody fight that character. And then maybe there's something I can do more than that. See, I lab Slayer defense for you. 19 views. 19,000. Maybe this is like a little too high level. Or maybe it's just that Slayer is too high on the instant gratification. But this whole like complaining about Slayer thing kind of feels like groupthink. I don't know. Like, Slayer, I think, is like right inside top 10. I think he has a lot of fucking problems. A lot of problems just getting set played over and over. He's very similar to Naga. Okay, very, very, very similar. Slightly better in different matchups, slightly worse in others because of defensive issues. Like his frame data is better, but he also has a worse reversal super. Like it's very little things that change the dynamics of matchups. Uh, oh, you've been told that as a Testament player, you should pick another character? No. You should play Testament. If you like Testament, you should just play Testament. Testament is good. Testament has been good for a long time. The myth of Testament being bad is just so strange. Just so strange that that happened. Like there's bad characters. Like think how bad Bedman was. Think how bad Elphelt Valentine was. Like Johnny. That is bad. Testament didn't even come close to being like near unplayable in tournament. Uh what is the actual answer to Slayer? It is to mix it up between goading him into doing something that is not safe or rushing up to him and pressuring him and throwing him off his game. You have to balance between these. Like you have to throw a Gravedigger, throw the Succubus, like okay, run in, pop the stain, and then like hold your ground. Oh, he's doing Mappa Hunch. Like then you get a punish. Like you don't just want to run away all the time. You don't just want to go in all the time. You really have to mix it up. Okay. Let's see here. What's some replies? This person says Slayer does too much damage, and I'm a pro. Okay. You want me to tell you the truth? Slayer, I think, is fine, except for one thing. I think, yes, they missed the damage probably by like 12%, 13% on his combos. I think Slayer is going to get nerfed. I don't think he's going to get any change besides some proration on some starters. Probably Raw Dog, Pow Bunker as a starter would be a start. Or Mappa Hunch. Even for Strive, his damage is a little crazy. I personally think they missed the mark. Everything else, completely fine. You know, characters are allowed to have strong things. But, we'll see what happens. ASW can see... Like, there was, like, people were talking about, oh my gosh, Slayer's win rate on rating update. Like, duh, come on, wake up. But ASW can see these win rates, and I would think they would not look at high-level play, but all levels of play combined in. They'll probably see that Slayer, on top of being very popular, probably has an above average win rate, and they will probably adjust him for all levels. And that's probably gonna be damage. Realms of Legend says he's in the weird spot of not actually being that good, but being really oppressive if you don't know how to deal with him, along with being really volatile. Yeah, that's true. I would think most characters you don't know how to deal with can do things that are oppressive, but he has damage. That's his trait. Damage, damage, damage. Like, they really fucking ratcheted it up coming into this game. Now, the thing about him is, like, you have to fight him reflexively, and if you aren't absolutely comfortable with your character and everything like that, then, of course, your reactions are going to be slow, your answers are going to be slow, so yeah, it's going to be hard. And of course, yeah, playing a zoner will make it hard. Like, the thing about that matchup, though, is you have Gravedigger. So that's something he can never get through, right? Just don't give up. Keep on trying. Let's see here. Oh my god, this made me laugh so fucking hard. Look at this. Look at this. This is funny. This Asuka doing reversal big cube, and then Danzai just going through it, and then it says, how is this shit legal? And it's, why are you doing a move that is not invincible on Wake Up? Are you fucking crazy? What did you expect would happen? Asuka players, just disgusting. I pressed into an invincible reversal. How is that fair? Well, Danzai is not a reversal. That's the thing. You could have just blocked. No, this is not her worst matchup. Happy Chaos is right there. It's not an A2. It's a little harder for ABBA. It's probably like 5.5. I don't know. I don't know this version. It's probably a little better now with no looping blue water salt knockdown from Oscar. You know. Yeah. This is not even a reversal. So this guy is just a dummy. Wait, did this person already post? Galler. Huh? Alright, one more. Okay, Korean Ogre says, fuck resource characters without resources and fuck top tiers. A calm and clear discussion. Blah 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 blah. Only Zato and Batman need to go out of their way to manage their resource to enable their game plan. Paint drinkers. This doesn't seem calm and clear. This looks like a bunch of bullshit. So I'll say, I didn't read your essay, but you sound underage. There's nothing useful to extrapolate here. Moving on. Let's see here. So this person has been playing since for the last 3 years and has been maining Ram. They love Ram. They're this person's favorite character, but they never felt good playing Ram Lethal. And no matter how hard they tried, they peaked at floor 9, losing motivation to even play because they felt like they were never improving. This is the worst feeling because this person loves Strive and Ram Lethal, but just can't put it together and climb, right? This went on for a long time, and they assumed that they'd just get better, and they didn't. And people yelling about RAM being broken or this or that really affected them, you know? Now, 8 months ago, they switched to Anji, and in less than 8 months, they got to Celestial. They're winning some, and they feel like they're improving every day. And they love Anji and have a ton of fun playing Anji, but wish they could have been like this with Ram. And now they're trying more characters and messing around. And Anji is their guy now, but they'll never forget Ram. They're having the most fun in this game that they've ever had, and it's purely because they feel like they can actually play a character. TLDR, it does get better. Sex with a man.